Roll it.
What's up, y'all? My name is Ian Edwards, and welcome to the Soccer Comic Rant. And immediately, somebody's phone is buzzing. We got Mowhaa. What up? But thank you for listening. And if you're listening, you can listen at allthingscomedy.com, iTunes, Libsyn, Stitcher, Omni, and even Spotify. Even though I didn't put it up there, it's up there. Also, if you're watching at Ian Edwards on YouTube or Ian Soccer Comic Rant Edwards. And we want you to like and subscribe, tell your friends. And also, just to tell you a little bit more about allthingscomedy.com. If you go to allthingscomedy.com, they got other comics there with their own podcasts, Bill Burr, Tom Popper, and Bert Kreischer, to name a few. So check those out. Sponsor for the podcast is on thevolleyapparel.com. Go there and check out their gear. And they got hoodies, tanks, t-shirts, and sweatshirts for men and women with hip hop soccer emblems and logos on the front. So go there, use my promo code Comic Rant, and you can get 20% off. Let's get into the show. Whose phone is that?
I think it's mine.
Oh,
I put it on airplane mode. I don't know.
Just
you
mute
put
it,
it on
maybe.
airplane. Say again.
Just
Yeah,
mute. Just mute it.
Mute what? The app.
Just mute the sound on it.
Yeah.
Or do not disturb mode.
Got you.
Yeah, you have to listen to the guy that brings data on this. He knows what he's doing.
Okay, let me do that.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm lucky it's 1 a.m. here. No one's texting me at this time. So
Yeah. Mowhaa, you look like you're 45 years old trying to operate a phone right now. Is this how you like distract from us talking about Barcelona for the first time?
Yeah, exactly.
So we could talk about a lot of things, but let's do some Champions League first, since it happened last. And one of the games that I did get a chance to watch was Barcelona versus PSG. PSG was playing at the new camp, and they didn't have Neymar, and they still beat Barcelona as if they had Neymar. I think the score was 4-1 in the end. I got a few questions. How does Moises Akeem, who could not start for Everton, start for PSG? And then I'm thinking, all right, maybe he's starting for PSG because PSG doesn't have, they play in the French league, which is supposed to be a softer league, but then he scores against, a famous team. So you can't say, it's just a very confusing thing when somebody doesn't have success at a club, and the fact that he doesn't have success at a club that is below Barcelona, below PSG standard, goes to PSG and has been scoring in all the competitions, in the league, in the Champions League, and for their cups, and and just for Neymar doing his thing yesterday. But Mowhaa, since Barcelona is your shit team at the moment, like, what do you have to say about your people?
I'm gonna start with the coach. I have a lot to say. Let's start with this fucking coach. Can we get him off this freaking team? Get him. Why would you start PK? The whole week we were debating, all the Barcelona fans. Is he gonna start Mingueza because he's been on fire? Ronald Rahu is not gonna make it. So we're gonna start Lenglet and Mingueza. Maybe Umtiti, because he's played like 5-6 games lately. Even though Umtiti's been shit. He cost 5 goals in 3 games.
Damn.
And guess what he does? He starts PK. PK haven't played in 3 months. He just started practicing on Friday with the team after rehab. You start PK, and I was like, this is a disaster. PK slow, Lenglet slow, and we're playing against Mbappe, who's really fast. And Keane is pretty fast. And that was mistake number 1. And the first goal, PK, they're crossing the ball. He's not even behind the ball. He's on the other side of the ball. So Lenglet has one-on-one with Mbappe. Give credit to Mbappe. That was a beautiful cross over. He went over on him and shot it through the roof. Nobody could have saved that. And PK almost cost a penalty. First of all, he's out of position. He's slow. He's been declining the last 2 years. And then he starts in this game. So I blame that on Koeman. But PK did a lot of mistakes in this game. The second goal, PK and Busquets are holding hands like they were strolling the park while they did their cross. And Keane, let me tell you why Keane scored, first of all.
Wow.
If you are a striker and you get a ball 2 feet off the goal, you're gonna head that ball in. So Lenglet had Keane and Marquinhos. He went to Marquinhos, he saw the ball thrown over, he ran back to, he's trying to defend two players, right? He's trying to defend Keane and Marquinhos at the same time. And to the left of them is PK and Busquets holding hands, strolling the park like it's a fucking Sunday walk. And of course, Lenglet couldn't stop him, and he had a wide open header. No, any forward would score there in that position. And I'm so mad because I'm like, first of all, Busquets and Piqué are done, and they can't even defend on a freaking free kick. How are you two tallest players in the team and you're not guarding nobody? How you? Who's dangerous on a free kick? Let's be honest. Forwards and center backs. Marquinhos is a center back, and Keane is a forward. How are you not defending them? How are you not looking at them? And it goes back to Koeman. Don't start those fucking guys. We've been saying Busquets is done. He loses the ball. He never comes back.
Are the guys on the other bench, are they better?
Yes, Mingueza is way better. Mingueza did end up coming in the 70th or 80th minute. Mingueza is from the B team. He's been playing last 10, 15 games for us. He's been on fire.
Okay.
And he also plays right back sometimes. But
the first guy you guys took out was Dest. Did Dest have a terrible game?
But that's another problem. Dest should never started this game because Dest has played literally 30 minutes last 5 games. He came back from injury. He haven't played. And when he played lately, we've seen that he was kind of insecure. You know, he's not really confident yet. And then you throw him in a heavyweight game like this. Maybe you should have played. You know what I mean? They threw him in this game with PK. They haven't played in 3-4 months. And that's already coach mistake. And then when the coach did that mistake, PK did all the mistakes that you could basically do as a defender.
So what I'm getting from this is that you're a big fan of Koeman and you want him to sign a 5-year contract, and you love, you know, your older players that have won you all these trophies. Let me just see what's up with like the look on Lee's face while you're saying this, like he's enjoying your pain because you know his team ain't doing good, so he's happy to see somebody else in pain about their team. Lee,
I mean, 4-1's not too bad. It could be 9. So
some people are spoiled, Lee. Some people are spoiled. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think there's.
Give credit to PSG.
Let Lee finish.
I mean, like, first off, like talking about Moyes Keane, like I think that's on Everton because he was a talent at Juve. He's scoring goals for Juve in all competitions. He went to Everton, like maybe the environment wasn't right there for him. Maybe what he was being asked to do in the team wasn't the best way to get the best out of him. Because he's been at 2 big clubs now and he's done it there. So I don't know. But it's only a loan deal, so it'd be interesting to see if they make that permanent or not.
It's funny when you see a player who can't handle the pressure at a lower club.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a history where sometimes players are good at lower clubs, but they can't take the pressure at a big club? Moise Kean is a complete opposite. Like he was in Juventus, right?
Yeah.
It's a top level club in that league. Goes to Everton, middle, you know, the bottom top of the table. I can't take the pressure down here. Throw him at PSG, thriving. It's like, no, I only survive doing the best.
Well, also, I think we've seen enough examples now of young players coming into the Premier League and completely looking out of depth. And it takes them a while before they, hit their straps. And it could just easily have been that. And, now he's at a more playing in a league that's, not as frantic. So maybe they should have just stuck it out with him.
He was 18.
But
he was 18.
Thing, it's just one thing. It's like he had 3 coaches at Everton, and none of them, thought he was good enough, and they loaned him out.
No, but we've seen.
And you loan him out to a
examples.
club where you're like, if he ain't starting here, it's crazy for Everton to loan PSG.
No, but the example that you're talking about, you look at what Serge Gnabry is doing right now at Bayern. He was like Tony Pulis wouldn't play him at Middlesbrough. Said he doesn't deserve to be in the 11th. So
also, I want to give Keane credit. When he came to Everton, he was very young, 18, 19 years old. And then when he went on that
now
PSG,
he's like 18 and a half.
Yeah, but the pressure is he's the option 3. You know, the pressure is on Neymar and Mbappe, so he gets a lot of space. And French league defense is not as good as Premier League. You know what I mean? So
that's what I was thinking till he scored against Barcelona.
I mean, I told you why he scored. Nobody's guarding him. He just have to touch the ball with his forehead. That's it.
You still got to be in that position, though.
Yeah.
But I mean, he does the right runs. Just because you do the right run doesn't mean you're going to score. But if the defender decides to not guard you, you can't miss from there.
Yeah, Lee, you weren't finished. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think with Barca, like this could actually be like the financial issues in the long term could actually be a blessing right now, because this could be a chance for them to start putting youth back in the team, putting like a bit of identity back into the team, because they can't afford now to go out and replace Busquets with the best holding midfielder in the world from somewhere else. They have to try and bring people through now, which actually might be a good thing for them. I don't think Koeman's the best manager for that. Our academy slowed down a little bit when he was our manager. He got really good results for us, but he's not like a developer of youth.
But he's not playing. He's not playing all the youngsters. He's playing like 50%.
That's what.
He is playing a lot of youngsters though. You got Dest, Trincao, Pedri, Puig.
He's not playing Puig much. He just stopped playing last 5 minutes.
He's playing what's the Dutch dude? Like your whole team is like kids.
De Jong have to play.
It's 13-year-olds and Messi, Jordi Alba, Busquets, and so it's grandparents and their children, and there's
missing generation.
I mean,
the missing generation in the middle.
I'm not giving him credit for playing De Jong. We bought De Jong to start. You know, Frankie is a superstar. He's amazing.
He's amazing.
Every coach will play him.
Yeah,
and
except
I mean,
the coach before, like had an issue with him. The coach before didn't play.
No, he started every game unless he was injured. He started every game. He's getting in shape now. Now he's really, really in shape. He's really good now.
I mean, gifted dude.
Yeah, I think it could be a rocky 2 or 3 years now for you guys.
Yo, I can't wait to March. We get a new president, and I hope he fires Koeman right away.
But do you want Enrique back? That's Enrique.
I would love to have Enrique, but he's not coming back. He's Spain's coach right now. I think we're gonna get Xavi.
That's gonna be another shot in the dark, right?
No, Xavi is basically he played for La Masia. If you play for La Masia, the youth in the Barcelona team, it's the same system. He knows that system in and out. And the kids that's coming up, like Mingueza, Ronald Araujo, Puig, they know that system, you know, it's going to fit smoothly. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be successful overnight, but I trust him way more and he has a friendship with Messi and the kids. You know,
he needs patience. If you hire him, he needs patience because he's done, two seasons at Al Sadd in Qatar?
Yeah. We told him he need at least 2 seasons. They told him you need at least 2 seasons before you come over. But the new president, one of them, the candidates promised he would bring Xavi. And I understand if we're going to rebuild with the kids, I'd rather have Xavi to also build as a coach.
But
that makes sense.
You want him to have patience, but do the Barcelona fans have that patience? I don't think they got that.
Everybody's calling for Xavi. We love Xavi. He's an icon.
You love him until you get him, and then you're not getting. You guys are addicted to winning. Like you say, you're like the person in the relationship. You're like, I'm gonna change. If you come back to me, I'll be this way. And then you're that way for like 2 days, and then you're going back to like, yo, I'm not.
That's why we gotta check each other. We said if we're gonna rebuild, let's rebuild with Xavi and give him 2-3 years. We have no patience, but accept what we say. You know what I mean? We have to accept it.
Well, I think what Mowhaa is saying, we just went through that at Chelsea. Yeah. It's almost near identical because we are in a situation after the Hazard left, transfer ban, that everything was looking like there's no way out of this, and the only way out is to start using the players from the loan army, the academy. And if we knew that if we go in for another like traditional, conventional, CV manager, they would just come and do not look at any of these guys. So we wanted folks from the academy, folks who have trust in the young players to come in, and that's where we went to Lampard. The entire fan base was behind him. This was like a dream come true to see a real legend back in the dugout.
And after you used your legend for
No,
what
but
he
that's
was worth, then you
but that's
burned him. Like burn notice, drop him,
and
pay a bunch, buy a bunch of players, and get Tuchel and get the fuck out, Lampard.
no,
Thank
but
you
that's
for
what
your
I'm saying.
service.
That's what I'm
Go
saying.
back to Man
It's
City like we did to you when you was nearing the end of your playing
no,
career.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, it all looks good until it doesn't, because the same fans who are gonna be, super Frankie Lampard, clap, clap, clap on the 8 minute, will,
There's one difference,
that will
Neil.
not. I remember having this conversation with Martin on the podcast where he said that if it's big, only because it's Lampard, he's gonna get a longer rope. Well, there's a good case to argue that he got a shorter rope than most folks. So I knew that it wasn't going to last beyond a certain time, and that's
Neil,
exactly
let me
what
add one
happened,
thing.
both from the owners and the fan base.
Let me add one thing. You're right about everything. We look at Xavi the way you guys look at Lampard, and I think Lampard was respected by other fans. I like Lampard, but the difference is you guys have a crazy dictatorship owner, and I think if it wasn't for that owner, Lampard would have maybe stayed a little bit longer.
Mowhaa,
you know what I mean? And
Mowhaa, you guys have a big crazy dictatorship owners, the fans.
but,
I don't believe in you. I don't believe in the fans' idea of patience. There's no way you guys are
will
gonna be
tell.
patient. What you lose the first game, fire Xavi, but he was a legend. Fuck him.
No,
And the problem
never.
with
I
Xavi
think
is
any club that has fan base that's used to winning, we're all the same. Like, there's no
Yes.
divine
Yeah.
moral high ground on any of. I think any fan base is gonna be like, okay, now we need to see
Mowhaa, I'm a Man United fan. We are second in the league, and we dropped points at the weekend. We didn't lose. We dropped points. We're second, and we're further than we're ahead of Liverpool, and there's still people saying fire Solskjaer. So
yeah, I agree with you though. Now let's say we give Xavi 2 years, because I like the kids coming up, Puig, Pedri, all those guys, right? De Jong, they're all really talented. Migueza, Arujo. Now, if Xavi doesn't do nothing in 3 years, I might say, you know what? We did give this guy a chance. He's not it.
No, but again, the 3-year timeline is also identical. We lost nations in 18 months. How's that time?
Yes, exactly. Come on, man.
I was also like,
go ahead, Lee. Sorry.
I think the best thing Xavi could do would be to go to a mid-table La Liga team first, because I've watched a couple games that Al Sadd team have played, and they play really good. Like, he's put a Barcelona identity on them, albeit on a much lower scale. But coaching people that will listen to his every word, because they're not superstars. I know he's Xavi, but he needs to do something else first. I think it's too big a jump even for a club legend to go from the Qatar league to.
He won't go to the middle table. He has his mindset. That's why he's coaching that team.
Why doesn't he just go to Barcelona and coach the
Barcelona B?
Barcelona.
They have a coach that we really like, and he could be assistant for Xavi.
Yeah, but just start it now.
Yeah.
Just why waste time on just get in there, know the youth system. Like, that's the thing with Pep. He knew all the young players because he was coaching in the thing, so he knew who to bring up. Same thing. Frank had his right hand man was in the. But you guys are not going to be patient, so we'll move on. One thing I did. Neil sent me an article about Barcelona and all the negotiating mistakes that they made, a few years ago, with walking into that money that they paid for Dembele, he would never live up to that ever.
And continue.
And it's like you walk into a room, we're gonna say 70 million, and then you end up walking out paying almost the whole little money that they gave you for Neymar. And it's like
money that they're paying to Atletico Madrid just for the first option on their players as well.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that Primatillo guy he destroyed our team.
I wish I had something. I wish I had something to sell Barcelona at the time. I would have, if I'd have known that they were that terrible negotiators, man, I would have been selling them everything. My old first Samsung. You know what I mean?
Are we sidestepping the big Messi-sized elephant in the room?
No, go ahead.
So it looks like they're gonna get knocked out of the round of 16. So and not win the La Liga this season. So Messi is probably gonna finish his Barcelona career on a dip, right? Is there any? What's it looking like? Is there any chance that he's gonna stay beyond the summer?
I mean, to be honest, me and a couple of friends thought if we thought we looked really good lately, and we thought we were gonna destroy PSG, right? They destroyed us. And I thought if maybe we go to the Champions League final, he might stay, Messi. But now I don't think he will stay, man. He's going to PSG or Man City. I don't think he will stay.
Damn. Half of that sentence isn't really.
We're not going to win the La Liga.
Really a good thing. Like if Messi goes to Man City,
13 points in the La Liga. We're out of the Copa del Rey. We're not gonna go. We're not gonna win nothing. And Messi's not gonna take that.
He did last year.
Yeah, he had no choice. They kind of.
I guess anything else about Messi? What do you think about Mbappe killing it, doing his thing without no Neymar? It is extra embarrassing when you see no Neymar out there. You say, "Oh shit, we really got a chance," and then you lose as if he played.
I really like the third goal he scored. It was almost like watching like a young Henri just open his body up and coming off the left side and just bend one in the far corner. It was a great finish.
I don't want to take away from that goal, but De Jong kind of actually, instead of staying with the most dangerous striker, he went to the ball and they passed it behind him, and it was perfect. Now, don't get me wrong, Mbappe was absolutely phenomenal. He was amazing. He stepped up. He took the shine. He took the power. But we did a few mistakes, and that's what happens when you put Frankie as a defender. That's what we did last 20 minutes.
Yeah, I don't like when you put Frankie as a
defender
because he's a good midfielder.
Yeah.
But enough with losing ass Barcelona. Let me just ask a quick question about Liverpool's win against Leipzig. So Leipzig is an attacking team, and Liverpool normally doesn't get to face an attacking team. Like they've had so much practice against teams on the lower block with like 8 defenders in the Premier League. Did Leipzig create a mistake for themselves yesterday by we're gonna play like we're Leipzig, and Liverpool's like, oh, you open it up, we're gonna run right through you.
2 big mistakes. First goal, Mo Salah goes behind the defense, gets the ball, scores, and then the defender misses the kick, and now Mane is wide open. Those 2 mistakes you can't do in Champions League. You can't give those strikers that much space.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I mean, and this is so a lot of times when I watch these Bundesliga teams defend, it's kind of strange as to how even like the best defenses have so many holes in them. Like Leipzig is the best defensive team in the Bundesliga right now. So I was actually expecting more of a counter-attacking, proper Nagelsmann kind of game. But and it looked like that was their game plan too for a while. But then those mistakes, you pretty much made the same mistake twice, giving away the ball in those areas, and that's why when I look at now, even having seen Werner and Havertz, sometimes when I look at these crazy goal scoring numbers in the Bundesliga, I'm a little bit like, well, I don't know how much of a Bundesliga tax you got to put on them.
That's what I feel like. There is a Bundesliga tax. Lee, what were you going to say?
As I say, for Liverpool, I think they really needed that result after the weekend. There seemed to be a bit of a bad atmosphere brewing after the Leicester game and the way they lost it. So that just puts them back on track a little bit, which, I'm sure they'll be very pleased about.
Go ahead.
It seemed like, I was watching Leipzig in the group stages. It seemed like they have collapsed compared to what they used to be in the group stages a few months ago. Because I'm like, if we saw that Leipzig that played Man U against Liverpool, I thought they could have won. Now, you can't do those mistakes. And I agree. The Bundesliga, there's so many goals because they don't play defense. They go full out attack. And you can't do that against Liverpool.
They did get destroyed by United in one of the group games, though.
Yeah, I remember.
When Greenwood tore them apart.
I think the
Rashford
for Leipzig is when you look at a team disrespectfully and start attacking them and just feel like, oh, we're gonna run through them, you're gonna open yourself up, and that team is gonna beat you. And this depends on how cocky they're feeling. It depends on how good they do. Trying to think of which Premier League topic to go. And you're just gonna say, since we're talking about Champions League, Bayern's in the Champions League, they didn't play, but they bought upon I can't say his name right now for some reason.
From Lipzig, right?
Upamecano.
Yeah.
Upamecano. And it's like, does them buying a player from a team in the middle part of the season, a team that's like second in the table, right behind them, it's like, what is that? Why would Leipzig sell him now? And I don't understand it. And it's like psychologically, you're telling your own team that you're not as good as Bayern, and you're giving up this chase that you're on. I just think it's bananas.
That's what Bayern do. They're bullies. They've had a history of doing it. Like the players they bought from Dortmund previously, just to weaken their rivals. They're because they're so far ahead financially in Germany, ahead of all the other clubs because of their ownership. They're they can bully.
But you know, they used to.
But why
they
would
used
you
to buy.
why would you let them do that? Like, why wouldn't you hold on to the guy?
Yeah, I used to think, Bayern buys players after the season from Dortmund because they don't want competition. But Dortmund had no choice but give them the players because they developed so many. But now I start thinking Bayern have some kind of weird voodoo over everybody. How you let them buy your player in you're number 2 in the league? One of your best defenders. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense to me. You got any answers, Neil? Or thoughts?
I mean, I think they're just financially way more powerful than any of these other teams, and not just financially, like even in terms of stature. Leipzig probably knows that Upamecano is going to go, so there's not a lot of wriggle room there, and he wants to go to Bayern. That's probably the safest bet for him in his career to like have a great career in terms of like being acknowledged as one of the best in the world, getting a whole lot of top trophies, competing for the Champions League. It's a sort of a open goal for Bayern Munich, unless one of these other teams or their ownerships starts actually getting serious about building a team that can win and not just be happy with coming second and third, putting a few players on the shop window, getting that revenue in so that you're always doing well from a business point of view.
You like Mowhaa said, there's a voodoo, but maybe there's not a voodoo. What if it's collusion? Like, what if they just, or not even collusion? It's a scam. Like the league is a scam, and everybody's agreed Bayern's gonna win it. We're like praising Bayern. We help them. We the real contest is who comes second and third and fourth, and you can't just hand a team, because you make money if you win too, and it just I feel like it cheapens the Bayern, like it cheapens the Bundesliga, which adds to the tax that you're talking about that you guys are experiencing over there in Chelsea. It's just kind of messed up.
I'm sure it makes the whatever is the value of the TV contracts deal that Bundesliga has going on also less in value if there are so few competitive games.
Yeah. So, and what were you saying earlier, Lee, about the traveling for? Is it for the German teams in the Champions League? What were you saying?
Yeah, so they can't leave, or they can't go to certain countries, so they wouldn't be able to play, or people wouldn't be able to come into them. Sorry, so the Germans have got a ban on people coming in from like anywhere, I think, at the moment. So they can travel out the country to play, and they can travel back in because they're German residents, but foreigners can't go in at the moment from certain countries, and England's one of those.
Where was the Leipzig game played?
I think it was in either Budapest or Bucharest. I can't remember. It's Eastern Europe, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And that's their home game. I mean, it doesn't matter anyway. There's no fans, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's just a familiarity of the surroundings more than anything.
Yeah. So
I think
there's
we
fans in
play
England, right?
So what?
Do England now have fans? 50% or something like that?
Nah,
No,
those are the good old
nothing.
days when we had 5,000 fans. It doesn't seem so long ago, but the good old days, you had so we went to 5,000 fans. We thought everything was going to come back. Then we lost them, and I forgot that we even used to have 5,000 fans. Like that's how.
That was just in December, right? It was not long ago.
I can't even remember.
Yep, the last game we won before we went on that slump was versus Leeds, and that was the only game the crowd was back at Stamford Bridge. So December 3rd, yeah, I remember that day well.
Chelsea needs the fans more than anybody.
Yeah.
I guess that's another thing. Let's just roll into to Chelsea. So how you feeling now about Tuchel, Neil, and all the games you won a few games in a row? He's had what, 1 tie, 3 wins?
1 tie, 4 wins in the league.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. No, I mean it's been controlled and good so far, but I think except for the Sheffield game, we really haven't been tested a lot, because the only big team we've kind of played was Spurs, and we know how Spurs pretty much played like a Burnley or a West Brom in that game for the like at least till the 70th minute.
Damn.
So there wasn't really. So if you look at our games, like we won against Newcastle, and that was a good performance over the weekend. But we played much better versus Newcastle in the first half of the season, and we beat them more comfortably than Sheffield. Very similarly, like we needed. Like we had a
more comfortably now.
More comfortably, no, in the first half of the season.
Right.
So there's not a lot to go by, and like we played Barnsley, we barely beat Barnsley. We scored a goal late in the end. Tammy Abraham scored a goal and then went to the other end and cleared a ball off the line.
Saw that.
And the same team we had beaten 6-0 in the first half of the season. So, as long as the points are coming in, it's all well and good. But you look at most of our performance, except for Callum Hudson-Odoi, I don't think anybody really is playing much at a much higher level than what they were playing.
Maybe
playing
what you're
before.
doing. Maybe what you're doing is not tangible, and the only way to measure it is by points, because you.
And
can't
that's fair enough.
Yeah, you can't be looking at like comfortability as a new stat, where how comfortable did you beat this team as opposed to the last time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
I think our challenge. Go ahead, Mark.
I want to ask you. I think Werner played really well that game. He had a goal and he got elbowed in the face, and then he played actually better after that. And he had an assist, and I should have got assist. The goal spit it out, and Giroud hit it. What do you think about Werner's form? And also, what do you think about Ziyech, Hakim Ziyech saying, "I don't know why I'm not playing. I don't want to be here if I'm not going to play." What do you think about that?
Well, the reality is the way our squad is set up, somebody or the other is always going to be unhappy. That's just the facts. So if you're not,
but it doesn't make sense. Tuchel said Hakim Ziyech plays. He practiced hard. He practiced well. He's doing amazing, but he had no reason why not. He's not giving him a chance.
Yeah, but there's at least 10 players in those forward positions who are doing the same thing. So Ziyech was given a chance. I mean, he was playing ever since he came back from injury. He's gotten a lot of chances, and he hasn't performed at the level he was performing before the injury. And right now we're playing a 3 at the back system, which means that we are not playing with traditional wingers. So therefore, we're playing one spot less, because you're playing 2 wing backs. One of them is a winger, but you're not playing 2 wingers. So you have less spots, going around.
I understand, because I'm like, if I'm Hakim Ziyech, you paid me a lot of money to start. And even if I have 2-3 games bad after injury, why is Odoi playing all the games and Alonso, but I'm coming off the bench? You know what I mean? I understand why.
But Callum Hudson-Odoi is playing as a wing back, and he has the pace to play as a wing back. I don't think Hakim Ziyech has that pace. If he wants, if we move to a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 or a 3-4-3 where you're playing with 2 wingers, I think that's where Ziyech comes in. Or if you play with 2 number 10s, which we've tried a few times under Tuchel. I think that's where he can come in. But right now, what we're doing is,
I thought Ziyech was really poor in the Barnsley game, though. Like that's the sort of game where you would expect a player of his quality to dominate and just run the game. But he was like, his body language, everything, like he just looked like he didn't care in that game. And then when he got subbed, I wasn't surprised at all. Like I know
so it's not
games,
like
but he needs to do more against teams like that for sure.
So he has been getting done. That when the league, you're playing the league games with a certain 11 or a certain 14. Then the rest of the players, that's the FA Cup game the cup game is when you get your chance and you stake your claim. Barnsley, I feel, was kind of like that Stoke. Can you do it on a Wednesday night at Stoke? Because that pitch was, I don't think Ziyech has played on such a pitch for the last 5-6 years. And that was like a really horrible pitch. Like the ball was going everywhere. And for a silky kind of player like Ziyech is probably, but again, you can't really.
That was the type of pitch you walk on it, you feel like the pitch is tackling you.
Yeah,
right.
Like
Barnsley were aggressive as well. They didn't give anyone any time on the ball.
Right.
Those games are tough.
And that field was small, right? So it's like you kind of spoiled if you're a Premier League player and you feel like you have, even though the Premier League is fast, like a small pitch speeds up the game. And it's like, we ain't got no time, we ain't got no place, and this field is got broken bottles on it and snow.
I mean, we paid a lot for Ziyech, but we've paid more for Pulisic and Havertz, two players who can't get a look in right now. We paid more for Chilwell
because of the wing back.
Look in right now.
How much is Pulisic going to suffer under Tuchel?
Well, the theory was that he's the one that's going to benefit because he's Tuchel is the guy who gave him his chance at Dortmund, and the first game he didn't start him, and Tuchel said later on in the press conference that, I didn't play him because I put him on the bench because with Pulisic, I know exactly what he can do, so I don't really need to try him out. So he didn't get a chance then, but then now it's been a couple of games, and one game he missed apparently due to family reasons. So the thing is, I think the place where his spot is, Callum Hudson-Odoi has been doing really well there. So how do you drop him for
Callum's
him?
on the right though, right?
On the right wing back, as a right wing back.
So he's got the Ziyech spot. So who's on the left? It's Aspilicueta?
No, it's Marcus Alonso.
Oh, Marcus Alonso, yeah.
So
all the people you wanted Chelsea to get rid of are playing. Marcus Alonso, Aspilicueta, Rudiger,
Kovacic back this weekend as well.
Who?
Kepa has been back. Oh my God!
And then they brought. So what did you think when you saw Kepa in the? And the guys, I think he deserves to. Like, who's like? Go ahead.
I think I had seconds before kickoff. I tweeted. I messaged to some of my on the soccer group, like I'm literally having palpitations right now because I know how the story ends, and I didn't want to because Liverpool's dropped points, Leicester's dropped points, United dropped points. Here's your chance. You beat Newcastle and you get into the top 4, and that was a very risky thing. But Kepa did well. But
because nobody, there were no shots on goal.
There were a couple of. He had to make one save, which is fine. It's only that when he makes that one save, the second save typically he goes in. 1 and 2 always goes in. So that
is he in the running?
He was okay.
Is he in the running for starting goalie now? They got 50-50 him and Mendy?
No, the best part about that game was not Chelsea. The best part of that day was not Chelsea getting into the top 4. It was Tuchel coming out afterwards and saying, no, Mendy is our number 1. This was more or less a one-off because he wanted to give Mendy a break.
It's pretty disrespectful. He must have not felt anything about this. Is it Steve Bruce? To start Kepa, to say, what, Kepa, you had a good game against Barnsley. Let me see how you could do against Newcastle. This is a step down from Barnsley.
He saw the Callum Wilson injury the other day and just went, that's their only goal scorer.
Aston Villa has 2 games in hand, right, against you guys. They have 2 games in hand. If they win, they can pass you or tie you.
Yeah.
Who?
Aston Villa.
Well, one of those games is against Man City, I think. So.
Oh.
No, look at you counting on Man City to do your dirty.
Do your
One of
dirty
those
work,
games
yeah.
against that Man City, they shouldn't even play that and just drop the points.
I have a feeling like a lot of these changes that Tuchel's making with Kepa, with Rudiger, with Jorginho is sort of a political thing, or
Like what you mean?
because there have been reports that have come out at the back end of Lampard's era that a lot of the senior players like Marcos Alonso were unhappy, and young players really don't think of the place as much, but senior players with who are not happy with their minutes, they can, and they have the ability to do that. So Tuchel's probably making sure he's on side with those guys, and also the club's been trying really hard to get rid of some of these guys, but nobody's willing to buy them, because why would you buy somebody who's can't even make the squad at Chelsea? So probably also to get a couple of these guys value up, give Kepa a few games where he can't hurt the team, get his value up, and then put him on the shop window for.
Never gonna fool the world with Kepa.
You have no idea what good video editing on that Barnsley game and that Newcastle game with a really proper soundtrack.
Kepa, you know how Messi is, like any team would buy him. They don't have to see any recent tape. It's just his word of mouth. Kepa is the Messi of mistakes. You can't fool anybody. Like, people are always gonna be. You could change his name once they match the picture up with the old picture and check the fingerprints. They're gonna be like,
yo, imagine you playing Kepa just to sell him and hope he has good games, and he costs you the 4th spot, and you end up 5.
Well, that has happened. Risky. You don't have to imagine that. That has already happened for a good number of games.
So So what are you doing? Letting it happen some more? Like, this is crazy risk.
Right.
Yeah, it's a crazy risk.
Take the loss, man. You got money. Yeah.
I've seen Jorginho linked with return back to Napoli.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that. I guess the Serie A is a natural, logical league for him. He doesn't get pressed as much there. It's not as physical, and
he definitely goes back to Napoli. They were saying that last year, right? If he goes back, he's going back to Italy.
Because we need to raise a lot of money this summer.
You need defense. Every team needs defense. We need defense. Man United need defense. Spurs needs a whole new defense. Chelsea needs central midfielders.
We need Arsenal, a DM. Yeah.
Arsenal being defense is actually getting better, but they do need at least one or two people. But a lot of teams. I think the Premier League's problem is like having good center back pairings and just overall defense of some of these teams based on how many goals are being scored and where everybody's at in the league exchanging places.
We want
to talk about like a lower, sometimes we don't talk about like the lower part of the table. So before we go back and when I say now we're going to talk about the lower part of the table, I am not insulting.
This is the Arsenal section of the game?
This
is the Arsenal section of
Arsenal
the
and
podcast?
Spurs section of the podcast. Yeah.
The North London section.
But let's go a little bit lower first. So I'm looking at the table, and so the bottom people are, let me see. The bottom people are, I shouldn't have to look them up. It's West Brom, Sheffield United, West Brom, and Fulham. And then Chelsea just beat Newcastle. Do you think any of these teams can catch Newcastle? Or Newcastle just stalled and these teams are coming around the corner? Mainly Fulham is probably the only team that can catch them.
Yeah.
Fulham plays better football, but can they catch Newcastle?
I think Fulham have got the best chance, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Like West Brom, obviously they pulled off a draw at the weekend and they have the occasional good result, but then they follow it up usually with 3 or 4 terrible ones again.
Mm-hmm.
Fulham look good. I still don't think, I think the gap's too much for them, but I mean, the way Newcastle are looking right now, who knows? So Fulham, I think, are the only ones that actually have a real fine chance of getting out there.
Right. And they play good looking football, but Yeah.
Josh
I hope-
Maja as well. Finally
it's only
turned up
6
this weekend as well.
It's only 6 points, right? That's 2 games.
Getting smaller. Yeah.
6 points, yeah.
I feel like
It's 25 points for Newcastle and 19 for Fulham. They're catchable. What are you gonna say, Mowhaa?
I was going to say, I don't think Fulham's going to catch Newcastle, because when I look at both teams, Fulham is a better playing team, but Newcastle is more likely to get points. Every time I watch Fulham, they disappoint. They play great, but they disappoint. And I feel like Newcastle, if they're not playing the big teams, they can actually get out, because they have such individual players like Almiron and Maximum. I feel like they have more chances of winning games all time.
I think Almiron, his end product, he's like a low budget Pepe.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like he
But
looks
he's more
good.
efficient though. I feel like he's more efficient.
I think they're both equally deficient at like finishing anything, like the final pass or the final shot. Like Almiron looks like he's working his ass off, but he just really ran 1 lap, but it looks like he ran 5.
Yeah,
I
he's a
think
final product for sure.
I think he'll be good. Him and Pepe need to calm down. If they
Annoyingly-
have composure issues, go ahead.
Annoyingly, the game Almiron decided to turn up was against us a couple of weeks ago, where he hit a couple of goals. Like he hasn't done anything really end product wise in most of the other games, but then he chose us to pick on.
Yeah,
Almiron
go ahead.
Almiron is a worse version of Richarlison, less talented.
Yeah.
But against you guys, he was hitting all cylinders that game.
It's hilarious. Yeah, he had I think Almiron has potential. It's just like he always looks like he's trying to prove himself that he belongs there when he's out there. And it's like, when you watch, like you see Steve Gerrard, like when he played, he looked like, this is my shit. I want it, and this is how you should play like a man. Like everybody makes a statement based on how they play. Almiron's statement is, I belong here. I belong here. Like let me prove it. Let me prove it. It's like a little bit of desperation to his game, and he just needs to like, hey man, you've been here 2.5 years. You're good. You're here. Now just play like how you played in the MLS. And speaking of like, so you're not bottom of the table. You're 13th. You're Southampton, Lee. You lost this weekend. You lost the 4 games before that. Like, how are you feeling about your team? And is this the normal slide after 9-0? And now maybe the next game you'll recover and start winning again.
We did okay in the cup game in the midweek against Wolves.
Right.
We rotated a little bit. They rotated a bit more, and then the game of the weekend, like we played really well first half. We were 1-0 up. We deserved the goal. We were playing really well. Second half, we didn't really play to the same levels. Mm-hmm. But when you get a ridiculous handball decision against you to go 1-1, like it kills you really. Like we could have probably rode out the bad spell and maybe kept it 1-0, and then the game's different. But as soon as it goes to 1-1, it gives Wolves that bit of confidence back, and then Neto goes and scores that brilliant individual goal. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was frustrating. I thought we deserved at least a draw from the game. But yeah, it's our record, 6 Premier League losses in a row now, which is our record. So
congrats, man.
Record breakers.
Yeah, when you got to give a team a shout out when they make a record, good or bad. You know what I mean? So, good for you guys. You did your thing.
But yeah, I think we got City next, so not next. I think they're coming up soon.
No, you got Chelsea.
Oh, Chelsea.
Do you have Chelsea next?
Yeah, I think they said our next games are like Chelsea, Leeds, City, and someone else difficult.
Don't worry.
Lee, you know how it is with Lee. You know how it is with Chelsea, right? Like every time we face a team that's going through a proper slump, that's the day things change for them. So we've done that to Everton. We've done that to Arsenal, and I think we did that to Sheffield last season.
Isn't
I hope you keep Kepa in for another game.
And I also remember, like, I think it was Kepa. Yeah, it was Kepa in the first leg, right? And I think that was your best. Wasn't it one of your best attacking performances of the season? The 3-3 draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, that was one of the last straws with Kepa. Like, you know what you're saying, Mowhaa, earlier, that you can play somebody and what happens if he again flops and the value goes down? That's what happened.
Yeah, don't play him no more, please. Unless you want to miss the top.
It's Tuchel and Southampton boys. They're both German. They both coach that in some capacity, like at Dortmund, right?
No, Hasenhüttl is he's closer with Klopp because they went on their licenses together.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's just an acquaintance as far as Tuchel goes. They've never been at the same clubs or anything.
I think there's some maybe not, maybe they don't know each other personally that well, but there's some common thread of that Ralf Rangnick school of coaching, right?
Ralf Rangnick's like the godfather of the German.
The godfather of a lot of these coaches, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, even though Hasenhüttl is Austrian, I'll just point that out though.
Oh, he is.
Okay.
He just gets lumped in as German because he spent his whole career there.
All right. Okay. Okay.
So, I mean, it's the same thing practically.
I think you do a win.
Who?
Leeds. I think Southampton is due a win this weekend.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, on the realms of possibility, but
like West Brom was due some points this week, right? And they got it. They got one. So you got a chance. It doesn't have to be a 7-game losing streak record.
I think it'll be quite an interesting one to watch there because obviously Chelsea under Tuchel, they want the ball, they want to try and dominate possession, and we want to press. So those two styles going up against each other could make for quite an entertaining game.
Yeah. Do you have your first choice midfielders available?
Yeah, first choice midfielders are Walker Peters got injured again against Wolves, which killed us a little bit because he's our only right back at the moment. So we might end up having like a centre back out of position there against you guys, which could be a problem. Or when Walker Peters got injured against Wolves, because Wolves were playing 3-4-3, we switched to the same. So, we switched to like a 3-4-1-2. So I don't know, because of your system, we might end up doing the same.
Yeah, that's what I'm a little worried about our midfield with Jorginho and Kovacic.
Neil, you're always worried.
Yeah, no, but we are talking about Ziyech not being happy. Kante is on the bench.
Yeah, that makes no sense to me.
Do you think? I hope that changes.
Neil, do you think now that Abraham's injured, maybe you should start Ziyech with Werner as a top forward and then Ziyech? Do you think now Giroud shouldn't start, right?
Well, the thing is, the problem we've been seeing is Werner playing as that last striker is sort of the issue. So Werner playing of Giroud is what we are going on with right now. Or we should just play a 3-4-3 and not have these two strikers and just do one striker and play two natural wingers.
Yeah.
But I feel like till the time we get Werner completely up and going, we will stick to the 3 at the back and 3-5-2 sort of a thing.
I'm worried about Giroud this weekend because he's got quite a good record against us.
Yep.
So hopefully you start Tammy.
Tammy, I think, is injured. So
he's fancy. Giroud is like fancy Ings. You know what I mean?
Ings with better hair.
Yeah, Ings with better hair, more French, more style, more looks like a fighter pilot, and with an accent. Whatchamacallit? What was I gonna say? So it's funny, like when Tammy got injured, like it looked very frustrating to him in that game because he's like through the injury, it looks like he was gonna be like, I'm finally getting the chance to start, and I think he's gonna start pairing me with Werner on the regular until we work this thing out. And so when he got injured, the way he got injured, you knew he shouldn't even try to come back on the field, but he did not want to. He wanted to try to get back on the field somehow so he can continue this opportunity and get momentum built for other games. And you see him go back on the field. Yeah, come on, bro. You're not. There's no way you're going to continue.
That's Tammy too, though.
And he saw Giroud, and the opposite look was on Giroud's like, I'm going to score as soon as I get on, and I'm going to keep scoring in every game after this. And Tammy, take your time on that table because I'm just going to get. And Giroud went on and he scored like immediately.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you guys gave up on Giroud like 2 years ago, but every time he comes in, he's playing better than Abraham, especially this season. You know what I mean? You guys gave up on him too early.
The thing with Giroud is like, if you want to build a team that's gonna be, have a lot of possession, fast paced, for Giroud to be in the team and to justify it, he pretty much has to score a goal every game, and he's not as clinical striker to do that, because he kind of holds the team back in other aspects. So, I mean, there's a reason why Arsenal let Giroud go for as little as they did, right? When he was even younger. So, I mean, he is the third striker at Chelsea, and I think he's doing great for that.
He's a good sub. No.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun, right? I'm looking at the table. Tottenham's 9th, Arsenal's 10th. Who sucks more? Like, go ahead, make your pitches on who sucks more, Arsenal or Tottenham. I think I know
Spurs right now, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, Arsenal have started to pick up a little bit. Obviously, they got their goals at the weekend. That was a really good game to watch. Aubameyang back on form, but yeah, I mean,
I guess his mom is going to be fine.
Yeah,
Aubameyang played like, oh, my mom is completely better now.
Yeah.
Weight off the shoulders.
Yeah. Like you can tell, you could tell the health of Aubameyang's mom by the amount of goals he doesn't or does put in the net. And I think she's completely better now based on that last game.
Yeah, I think.
I'm sorry, I cut Lee off. Sorry.
Go ahead.
As I say, in terms of Spurs, like, I mean, Mourinho's thing is defense. They couldn't even like go up there and put up a fight against City. Really, they ended up getting ruined.
I have an idea for Spurs, and the idea is, West Ham was 4th at one point on the weekend until the Chelsea game, but they're winning. And the one thing I hate about West Ham is that they play defensive and they play really ugly. I think Spurs needs to double down and play even uglier and even more defensive, and they'll get the points that they're trying. Like right now, they might, as crazy as it sounds, they might be 2 on the fence. They need to go full ugly. You know what I mean? They need to go full.
They got the players for that, though.
They said what?
Have they got the players to do that, though?
No, they don't. That's the problem. That's the problem. But go ahead.
I was say, West Ham have got the guys to do it.
Yeah, West Ham has the guys to do it. So maybe they need to just get more Højbjergs in the next transfer window. You know what I mean? In this, and just commit, because for real, they're not winning this way. They have too many attacking players who are not defensive enough for Mourinho, right?
I think that's the critical part there for Mourinho.
Yeah.
And that's an easy fix.
Yeah.
Which is why I feel like, I think on current form, maybe Spurs sucks more, but I feel generally Arsenal sucks more because Spurs at least know that they've always sucked. And I think Arsenal still tries to carry on like they're top 4 or like a big club. And of course they are, like the prestige and the esteem of that club. But if you look at the results for a long time, they've gone from being a top 4 team under Wenger to being a top 6 team under Emery to being now a top 8 team under Arteta last season to now being a top 10 team. So it's only going one way. And also for Spurs, I feel like the fix is very simple. You change your manager, you already have the 2 best forwards in the league. Like, who's better than Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, right? Surely there's a manager out there who can get more out of those 2. You already have a pretty competent goalkeeper. You have decent center backs. You
don't.
paid money. I mean, Alderweireld and they're not the worst. Alderweireld and Sanchez.
Sanchez. Listen,
and
man,
that Rodon guy. I like the Rodon guy.
Would you take Sanchez on Chelsea?
No, because we have.
Did you see what
Chelsea's
Gundogan did to? Did you see what Gundogan did to Sanchez? I sent Lee the photo. Like, so I watched the game after everybody else, and then for some reason, when I watched the goal, it came to me in frames, and there's this frame of Sanchez like laying down, legs and arms up backwards, and then everybody else, they're all looking at the ball going to like Gundogan, Sanchez, Lloris, but Gundogan, his position was like a face plant with his neck turned, hoping or trying to wish the ball away past the far post, and the ball's like, nah, we going in. Like, you don't want Sanchez, bro. Sanchez.
I think.
Yeah, go ahead, Mowhaa.
I think when I look on paper, Spurs should be way better than Arsenal, right? But lately, because of Mourinho is the problem, obviously. If they have a team to compete and play offensive, attractive football, and they have a great forwards, good midfielders, and good bench, but Mourinho is slowing down. So I think Arsenal will make it above Spurs. And I feel like Arsenal is playing really attacking football and really attractive football. Now they have Aubameyang back. I think they are very confident. Like Neil said, I think they're playing with that confidence. They're still chasing top 4. So I think because of that, they will go above Spurs. But Gundogan, he does that to everybody. Lately, he's been doing that.
Yeah, he's on fucking fire. So everybody basically is saying that Spurs suck most.
No, I think it's 1-1 because I said Arsenal. And Mowhaa is on the fence, right?
Yeah, I think they both suck, but Arsenal will probably end up one step ahead of them.
I believe in Arsenal more.
The rumors for Spurs are if Jose goes, then it's Nagelsmann or Rodgers. So I think both of them would be a real upgrade.
You know what's going to happen if Nagelsmann, maybe not Rodgers, but because Nagelsmann's been touted so much as the next big thing, I wouldn't be surprised if there's if a team like Spurs makes a move for Nagelsmann, somebody like United, because we've already sacked our manager. We've gone through that. I wouldn't be surprised if United or Arsenal pull the trigger too, because you don't want to, because there's I don't know how their careers are going to pan out, but there's a feeling that you don't want to miss out on Nagelsmann. Just like a lot of teams missed out on Klopp when he was available in 2016. So
I think he'll be great. They should take him. He'd be great for especially Spurs.
We definitely missed out on Klopp. Like I like Solskjaer, but it's like there's things you like that player that Brighton Hove has who played this weekend. And the $5 million kid from Ecuador, we could have had him. I think we'll regret that. We regretted not getting Klopp. What's his name? Upamecano. It's like $40 million. Spend the money. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even though, you know what, we played him and we torched him a few times, so I'm not crazy about him. But $40 million is cheap for a player like that. Yeah.
But top level centre backs are rare at the moment.
Yeah.
Do you rate him?
Yeah.
I think he's good. I think he's still a little bit raw. So if he's going to go somewhere where he's going to get coached more and he's going to be given some space to develop, then he's got all the attributes to be a top centre back.
Yeah, and I agree with you guys. I mean, there's not like if we look at every top team in every league, the centre backs are very thin, every team. And to get one guy like that for that price, and potentially he can be a super set, you should get him.
Yeah, you should have got him. It doesn't make any sense.
I think City probably got the best ones at the moment in terms of Diaz, Laporte, and Stones.
They got all. They bought all the.
They got
it's better than the days when they had Otamendi as a ticking time bomb back there.
Yeah. And they still won the league with him. And we that's how good of a coach Pep is. Like
he had company though. Company was holding them together with Otamendi.
But whenever company wasn't injured, like mostly they didn't have company. But so there's every team in the league has a Otamendi. Like the time we're talking like top teams in the league, you know, like except the team who had the original Otamendi. They don't have him no more. But like Spurs got an Otamendi or two. Like shit, Chelsea does. You know,
We
Man
do.
U does. You know, like let me look at these tables. Leicester don't. Leicester, I feel like just on everything.
Leicester has Otamendi's. They won a league with West Morgan. They almost came top 4 with
No,
Johnny Evans.
No, but that was in 2016.
Yeah, but like they have Johnny Evans right now, who is as Otamendi as they come.
super
No, he's
consistent.
better. No, he's better than Otamendi.
Johnny Evans in his prime was not an Otamendi.
No, but like Johnny Evans was deemed
He's
not
an
good for
Otamendi
top 4
now
team
because of
4
age.
years back.
He's
Yeah,
aged into an Otamendi. You know
yeah,
what
so
I mean?
did
I'll give you that.
Otamendi.
But you know, I'll give you that. So that makes my point. Like every team in the league has
Every team,
Otamendi.
yeah.
But my only thing I was gonna say about Leicester is, besides Man City, I think Leicester is like the most perfect team in the league.
Yeah.
And do you get what I'm saying about that when I say that? Like
I think a full strength Liverpool. I think a full strength Liverpool are better, but not.
No. Yeah. When a full strength Liverpool, but right now,
chemistry. They have great chemistry.
Chemistry and balance.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah, the
just
balance.
just put Man City aside. We know Man City is primo, is top. But when I look at all the other teams, like, oh, they got everything, and it's like, these players will have a name, but not right now, and because of that probably even helps with their balance. You know.
Yeah.
And
they even cope without James Justin this weekend. Like he's played every game prior to his injury, and then they missed him at the weekend. They still got the game.
Yeah, he's been a breakout player for them. He's really good. I mean, City looked amazing today. I was watching the second half.
Before I get to that, I want to, because we always talk about the top teams, right? So we started talking about Newcastle, then we went a little bit further up the table to Southampton. But we still stayed in the bottom of the table with Arsenal and Spurs, right? And this is not a bottom team, but it was a bottom team. What's your feelings on West Ham and David Moyes and them being fifth? Just, prop talk,
Like just credit to them. Like, I mean, Moyes is doing a good job of refreshing his reputation, because he was, I mean, we said this before, like he was a joke for a little bit. Like he just went from job to job, just failing after the United role. He failed at Sunderland, he failed at Sociedad. The first spell at West Ham
was West Ham.
Yeah. But it's working, and everyone there understands the system, it seems. Like the two Czech, and we said it before, the two Czech guys, Souček and Kufal, are just great finds. And every player in that system seems to know their role, which is really good. And I think for me, one of the most underrated players on the team is Cresswell as well at the back. The guy's got great delivery from his left foot. He gets so many assists. And yeah, they're just looking solid. I think Fabianski's a massively underrated keeper as well.
Right. And he's one of those coaches. We had one, like, you just get older and better. Like when we got what's his name that won us the Champions League, but he was like 39, 40 when we got him, and gave us like, damn, what's his name? And he's at Ajax now, and he gave us
Van
der Sar. Yeah. We had Van der Sar, right?
That's a goalie,
yeah, as a goalkeeper. Like we didn't get him young,
No.
But Fabianski. My thoughts on West Ham are that David Moyes deserves all the accolades he's getting now, if he's getting any. I think he's a brave ass dude. Like he earned this. Like he went to West Ham. It's tough to go to a team that fired you already, and they used him, and then they got rid of him, and then because a lot of people make mistakes, including teams, and they get in desperate situations, they were desperate enough to hire him back. But I think maybe it's because he was there first, and then got a little taste. The brave thing that he did is like, fuck the players with skill. He did a ballsy thing. He said, I'm not playing you. I'm playing the players who play the way I want them to play. It might not be the best players on the roster. So that's a ballsy move. But and when you do that, you also need some luck. You know, but it's not luck if your system is really a good system. So then now they start winning. Because if they don't win, the players that he's not playing are going to be like, you would be winning with us. And then the whole thing would fall apart. But those players start winning. So now the players who should be playing but aren't starting see the team winning. Then they have to be like, all right, we have to listen to this guy, you know, and we have to play and do what he says, because look at the success he's having. So then now you brought these people on board, and then you were cold-blooded, where unlike Arsenal, I mean Chelsea with Kepa, you know, it's not the same amount of money. Like they paid 80 for Kepa, but West Ham ain't flowing in money, and they bought a player for like 40 something million, and then they said,
yeah,
and then they said, fuck it, get out of here. Moyes is like, fuck, that's ballsy shit. Get out of here. We'll sell you. We'll take the $20 million loss. That tells you, like, oh, he's back. This is a real coach now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's some, like, because you have to mentally shift everybody onto the right page before you can really start teaching anything, and or before anything physical you teach him is going to get you anywhere. So I just think he's done a great job as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, because I think
agree.
if he hadn't done,
let's get Lee
sorry,
go first, and then
as I say, if he hadn't done such a good job, he was in danger of slipping into that group of coaches like Allardyce and Mark Hughes and Alan Pardew, where it's just like they just go around all these crap jobs, they get fired after a year each one or whatever. But I think like I say, he's elevating his status again, putting himself in a different bracket, which I mean, next season will be a big one for them to see if he can continue that, and wherever they finish this season as well.
Yeah, and he doesn't look 70 years old no more. He looks 50.
Yeah, I think you guys are on the right track. Moyes realized, since he gets fired from Real Sociedad and all these teams, he realized, I'm going to stick and double down on my philosophy, and everybody have to buy in. And if this doesn't work, I know I'm going to become like Sam Allardyce and Pardew. I'm going to coach those bottom teams and keep dropping and getting fired. And I'm glad he doubled down on his philosophy, because he knows maybe he tried something else in Sociedad. He tried something else here. Now he's just doing what he knows the best, and his system is what it is, and he doubled down on it. And I think it's paying off, you know.
Yeah.
Showed, and I also like that he has players that we forgot about, like Yarmolenko, the Ukrainian forward. We forgot about him. He's still on the bench coming in.
Lanzini started the other day. Like the genius thing, like I'm watching West Ham now even more because they got Lingard. Like the production, like Lingard in the last game, he earned a penalty. He had a really good game. He looked fucking impressive. I'm like, where was this when you? It's like I wanted.
Maybe you need to hire David Moyes back.
I wanted to congratulate Lingard. I mean, he's one of the best coaches in the league now. He's the 5th best coach in the league.
He's pushing top 4 just like he did the last time he got the job.
Yeah, he's edging. He's edging. Yeah. He's sexually edging top 4. He's edging.
I don't want to think about David Moyes sexually edging,
but he is. He's edging top 4, baby.
David Moyes is edging. I think also you said that about Lingard. I think Moyes tells them on practice, everybody can start. You just have to show it. And I feel like everybody feels the confidence from the coach.
But here's a beautiful thing that he did in that game against, who did they play? It was West Ham versus, who the fuck did they play?
Sheffield United at the weekend, wasn't it?
Sheffield United. And I can say Sheffield United, it was Sheffield United, but they beat Man United. So fuck it. So he had no forward. You know what he played? He played Lingard. He played all attacking midfielders as his front 3. And he said, you guys figure it out. And they interchange. So it was Lingard, Lanzini, who barely plays. And who was the other guy? Was it Fornals, or let me go to to the
Yarmolenko, I think he's a winger. The Ukrainian.
You might be right. I just want to make sure. I can look it up here with their lineup.
That's how I play FIFA. I put all the wingers in.
You put all the wingers. So it was like
Bowen.
Lingard, Lanzini. And was it Bowen?
Yeah.
And Bowen, yes. So it's like, and then Lingard was just running, good passing. It was so funny towards like 20 minutes before the game was done, Lingard was done. You know, you can understandably he wasn't match fit. So he did everything a player does when they want to get substituted out of a game. Like you make a run or win a corner and you bend over and hold on to the corner flag so that the coach can see your body language, which is normally when somebody's tired and they don't want to get out the game, they resist every temptation. But he didn't resist any temptation. He even overacted. It's like, listen, I know we won this game. I know I had a good game. I want to get off the field as I had a good game. So get me off because I'm too tired to do all the shit that I was doing.
He's earning the coach's confidence. He's smart.
He's got it. He did his thing. But congrats to Moyes, man, for now. They're fifth. And then what do you guys? Let's do a little Man U talk, and then we'll go to Man City. So we're just dropping deuces. You know, if there's an opportunity to drop 2 points against a team we ain't supposed to drop 2 points, we'll drop it. And we dropped it at the weekend. And you know, like I said last week, our problem is defense. And I've said this before on other podcasts, like Solskjaer is gonna live or die by the players he bought. And I don't know if the board is like, hey, you bought Maguire, so you play Maguire. You know what I'm saying? Well, we spent money on Lindelof, but we spent money on Bailly too. So it's like, why not play Bailly and Maguire? I don't understand it. Every time they play together, they look good. But at least play them until they don't look good so that everybody's not saying, why don't you play them? It just doesn't make no sense. Like, Maguire, I don't blame him for the first goal. First of all, the first goal that was it West Brom?
Yeah.
That's a foul. How many people would think that was a foul?
That was assault.
It's foul, right? So how you from behind head and a foul? But all right, but then Maguire, he's been doing this all season, like the terrible back passes to De Gea, which when those mistakes happen, De Gea saved it this week, but if he doesn't save it, his confidence takes another ding. So you have a defender that's taking down our goalkeeper on a regular basis, like by causing mistakes, and then at the public, the press, people, like shit that doesn't have to happen. So play by, bro. We could be out of the top 4 race, but not in the race for the title right now. There could be 3 separate races at the top now if it wasn't for our defense. It could be Man City, they're going to win the title. Man United has second secure, and whoever's behind us fighting for 3rd and 4th. But instead, it's 2 races. Man City gone, and Man U, Leicester, Liverpool, West Ham, and whoever else, Chelsea,
Aston Villa, something.
Villa.
I think you guys are doing the same mistake that RB Leipzig did. You guys attack so much and so confident, you're scoring so many goals. I think you're not helping Maguire. No midfielders are helping.
We got 2 CDMs helping them.
Yeah, but I'm saying I feel like McTominay and those guys are attacking way too much. And on top of that, I'm not defending them. Every defender needs help, and they're not playing the greatest. They do mistakes. And I agree. Bailly should have got a chance by now. He should keep starting, and because he played good those games he played. Yeah, and I think the coach is doing a mistake, but also you guys are so confident attacking, you forget about helping the defender sometimes.
No, I feel like we're always conscious, but you saw the mistake. We could have lost that game 2-1 because Maguire acting like it's his first time in the Premiership, and that back pass was horrendous. Just clear the fucking ball. That's football 101. It's like it doesn't make any sense, man.
But also, you're like playing West Brom. How much more does the defense need helping? In fact, I have a feeling that the only way to beat a lot of these 10 men behind the box teams is to like overcommit in commit in attack and like completely pummel that zone with shots. But you can't have two DMs and still have to be worried about what's going to happen with the defense.
I mean, that's what they want, you to go all in with an attack so that they can capitalize on it. They're prepared for it. They train for it. So it's tough to do it. And then we know our defense is probably as good as their defense. and the only difference is our offense. So it's like we shouldn't have a West Brom caliber defense on Man United. And if you have to buy the player, fine. But if you got one on the bench that could come in, like, not only is by a good defender because he does make mistakes, but I've seen games when they're stuck with the ball in the back and he makes an incisive pass direct through the midfield and the defenders of the opposing team straight to a forward. And you're like, oh, he's got vision. And it's like, why isn't that on the field? It doesn't make sense.
I think it's, regardless of your defensive issues, it's probably worth taking a second just to appreciate the goal you did score, though, which was ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Bruno's just on a different level when it comes to stuff like that.
But it's tough to it's just tough to appreciate that goal as it is tough to appreciate.
Oh, for you, I can appreciate it more as a neutral.
But it gets lost with the score. Like, remember Liverpool's goal this weekend?
Oh yeah,
you barely remember it. It's
the footwork
the
from Firmino,
footwork
and then
of Firmino.
The placement from Salah. It's amazing.
Then you lose 3 goals later. You 3 goals get scored on you in a row. Like, you'll hardly ever see that highlight. If that had won the game,
I'm a neutral. That's the only goal from that game I remember because it was the best one.
You don't remember Vardy? Was it Vardy, Madison, and Barnes? They all got theirs.
Did we speak about that game?
Nah, but you could talk about it.
Yeah, I think we kind of touched about it when we spoke about the Champions League, right? Mm-hmm. I think it was really important for like the Leipzig Liverpool game. Because I had a feeling that when I was seeing the first half, every time the ball's going to Alisson, something's going to happen. And he made a few good saves, but I don't think shot stopping really is an issue with him. Mm-hmm. It's just that he's been making these mistakes, when he has the ball. So I'm sure the clean sheet really helped, and also both Mane and Salah getting goals. Like, Liverpool seems to be a team where if they have to, they do a lot of good things. But the finishing, finishing on near the box is kind of missing, and that's not something you associate with Liverpool. Over the last 2 or 3 years. In fact, I think they typically always do better than what they finish better than what most good teams would. So. Again, we'll see in the Premier League if they continue to have these, because not a lot of teams in Premier League probably make those the kind of mistakes that Leipzig makes. And I think for some of these folks, like, they've not seen a bad run for a very long time. Like, ever since they've come into Liverpool, a lot of these players, it's only been good. Klopp, I mean, it's probably the first time that he's faced real adversity. Like, they're right now 2 wins in 10 in the league.
Damn.
So it'll be interesting to see what kind of choices he makes. Does he really shake up that midfield? Does he stick to having a midfielder as a centre back? Because now you have the centre backs. You did go and buy two centre backs. So
when one of those center backs inadvertently passed the ball to Vardy after the ball ricocheted off him from
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
and that's a simple mistake. Like he didn't call. The goalkeeper did not call. The guys commentating said we did not hear him call.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
there's
that's a new centre back coming in as well.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just the understanding just isn't there.
The understanding isn't there. I understand that. Yeah, I understand their lack of understanding 100%.
Also, Alisson's not like Alisson's too good a keeper for you to even consider dropping.
No,
Like
no,
it's
no,
not
you
like
don't.
what we had with Kepa, where it was like, yeah, drop him.
I think
But-
Allison's
Yeah.
meeting up with Kepa on the weekends and taking his advice the way he's playing right now.
Yeah, they're probably part of the same 70 million goalkeeper club. They have their meetings probably
The
just
70
outside of London.
yeah.
I think Alisson should not even talk to Kepa. He should block his number.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
Kepa talking to you.
Don't take no Kepa emails, no Kepa WhatsApps. Get him out the goalkeeper WhatsApp group. Just don't. It's motherfuckers more contagious than Corona.
So yeah, I think and they play Everton next. That's not going to be an easy game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Merseyside derby.
Say that again.
Merseyside derby. It's going to be a fun one.
Oh yeah. So Everton's gonna show up. Everton just lost, so they're they're gonna come hard. They're wounded. So
I thought they did okay in spells against City tonight. City just had more quality in the end, which you expect.
Yeah, I
didn't
mean,
go ahead.
I feel like everything was doing good too. And then Mahrez and Bernardo Silva and they played really well, Man City. And then they took their chances, you know what I mean? Foden was amazing. He could have had back-to-back goals in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yo, I gotta watch that game just for Foden. Like I was working today, but that guy, it just you see people get hyped all the time, and then you're like, you never see it. You just never see it.
He got 11 goals this year. 11 goals.
Yo, I see it. I see exactly what Pep said 3 years ago. He's the next David Silva. I'm like, first of all, just being born in England and looking for a player like that all my life to be English. Like when somebody says it, you're like, it's not. No,
No.
it's not. It's not. And then to see what he's doing is like, Pep wasn't even bullshitting. Hey, it looks
If
real.
anyone's gonna be qualified to make that statement,
Right.
That's right.
What do you think about Foden, Lee?
I'm excited.
Yes, sir.
I think he probably should have got more game time than he has previously, but I mean he's getting it now. So yeah, I mean he's going to be a huge player for City and England for years.
He's in the squad now. He need to make the England squad now. He has more goals than all the midfielders.
Does he make the starting 11 though?
Sometimes it depends who they're playing.
So, but do you think he should?
Southgate doesn't know his best team, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
options in that area of the field as well. That's a combination for him. That's why he's paid. He's got to figure that out.
Yeah, I think you stop. Listen, man, you only play Ross Barkley for England if everybody's injured. You know what I mean? He shouldn't be a first choice. You know
I
what
don't
I
think
mean?
he's anymore. I think he got dropped though.
I
Like
mean,
back end of last season.
Yeah.
I feel like Ross Barkley, what you said about Almiron, every time I watch Aston Villa, because I watch him a little bit, he's been so selfish because he's trying to prove.
he's trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that hurts the team a little bit, I think. You know, he tries too hard.
A lot. That's a major shit right there.
But yeah, Southgate's got a dilemma in those positions because obviously Kane, when he's fit, is the first choice centre forward. But then attacking midfielder wise, I mean, like you got Grealish, you got Foden, you got Sterling, you got Sancho. Like
Madison,
all these guys can play as as like inside sort of wingers, or some of them can play number 10 as well. So it's a lot of players.
You bring them all.
I like them all,
Yeah.
and then let them
Can't start them all though.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you
start
can't
them.
start them all. It's the same issue that we're seeing in Chelsea. Somebody's going to be unhappy and will have to sit out.
We have to accept that. I mean,
Yeah,
I
we have
think
to accept that. Yeah, we can't afford to make the same
form-wise, Foden.
Lampard Gerrard mistake again. That should teach us everything that we need to know.
Scholes is better than both of them.
He played with them though. Didn't Scholes play with Lampard and Gerrard?
No, they put Scholes out on the left wing and then he retired from
left,
England.
yeah.
He said, nah, fuck this. I'm just gonna do my job for United.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Form-wise, I think Foden should definitely get Madison and Foden and Grealish are probably the best in form of those midfielders.
So you can't have all three of them though.
I'm laughing because when you say that, Lee, how do you feel?
Yeah.
Not Lee, my bad, Neil. How do you feel? Because I'm leaving out a name. And everybody
Mason Mount? Yeah. Well, I have a feeling Mason Mount's gonna get in anyways, because if you want to have all these luxury players, you need somebody who can do both sides of the game. But
he's not that good at both sides of the game yet.
Well,
he's young.
I mean, here's the thing: like Tuchel right now is also trying him in that guy behind those two split strikers. It's kind of a different role for him.
So what a Henderson? You said behind the two strikers.
Behind the two strikers, so as like a number 10, but also sometimes as a false 9. So
what's Foden for? That's
what I'm saying. Like it's gonna be a tough call, but
what's Grealish for? Why am I doing that when I have Foden and Grealish?
But it also depends, like what kind of formation are you even going through? Are you going with 3 at the back and like a 3-5-2, or are we actually playing 3? Like a front 3 where like 2 wingers, maybe a Sterling or a Sancho or a Rashford or a Sancho.
No, just take one out. I would take Mount out at this point, even though I like Mount. If you have to pick one out of those 4 out, Mount.
No, that might happen because like everybody's so talented. I just don't think you can have all these players and go into big games with nobody doing the other side.
Right.
Because Foden's not going to press. Grealish's not going to press.
Foden presses. He plays on a team that presses.
No, he plays on a team under presses, but he's so far out. The real hard yards of the pressing has been done by other people.
No.
Watch the game. Foden worked hard. He worked
hard, bro. I'm sorry to tell you, but he just don't look like. But you got to think Xavi, Iniesta, Messi. He's been molded in. There's nobody who plays for Pep that does not press. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Like Sergio Aguero could not start until he started pressing. You have to press.
I think there's a difference in the level when I see both of them work in those areas.
So
but I feel there's a difference in the quality of pressing when I see both of them. But
he's British.
But again, like between now and the end of the season, see, I'm not pitching here for Mason Mount to go. My ideal scenario: none of our Chelsea players go play for the national team. Because I want
you might get that wish.
Fit and ready.
You might get that wish.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like the way I've seen a lot of managers place their trust, like it was also the thought that there's no way Mount's gonna get into Tuchel's plans, and that's happening. So,
but you know the DNA of British players is they work hard, they know how to press. Foden has that in his DNA, and he does it a lot. I don't know if you watch City games, he does it.
He does it, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty depressing to watch City games, but I still manage to sometimes do it.
I mean, now they're 10 points ahead of us. It's like they're uncatchable right now.
They're in their own. They're playing their own mini league.
Yeah. They handled all the business they're supposed to handle, the top and the bottom, and fuck it. Yeah. Lee, you have any last thoughts or words? Anything you want to get in?
No, just the international break will be interesting.
When
that comes around? I'm not sure when it is, but I know there's a lot of stuff in the news about it at the moment because the UK has some red list countries, which are in South America and Africa, and any players who go to those countries to play, they might have to quarantine in a hotel for 10 days on return to the UK, which obviously isn't really ideal if you're a professional footballer who's trying to play a lot of games. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out. But like some of the countries in there, like most of South America, like Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Chile, and most of Africa's on there as well.
Damn.
And that's a lot of players. Like almost every team's gonna get devastated by that.
Yeah, the
So you're
clubs.
telling me,
The clubs are trying to
telling
work with the
me-
government to overrule it.
yeah, you're telling me Richarlison comes back from Brazil and now he gonna miss next Everton 3 games. They're not gonna
Yeah,
be happy with
he has
that.
to sit in a Holiday Inn for 10 days.
And he's gonna miss Premier League
Imagine
games. So that-
Richarlison in a Holiday Inn.
Imagine
not
Mendy goes to Senegal and we have to have Kepa play till the rest of the
Senegal's not on the list.
Then you
Well, I
better.
thought a lot of African countries are.
Yeah, a lot of them are, but Senegal isn't. I've got the list in front of me
So
now.
you're good.
It's,
You're good.
You got
It
lucky
depends.
there.
It depends
Yeah.
where their game is, though, because if their game is in Rwanda or South America,
Oh,
or
okay.
South Africa, sorry, or Tanzania or Malawi or somewhere, there's a lot of countries on there.
Right.
Mowhaa, what you got?
I was watching also today. Juventus lose to Porto, and I was happy because I want Juventus to lose. But then I keep looking closer and closer. The second half, Porto is very, very dangerous team. Very solid in the back. They haven't got scored in I think 500 minutes or something in the Champions League or some shit like that, or the league total this year. And they're very attractive. Like even when Juventus scored 1 goal, they didn't sit back and get nervous. They just keep attacking. And I'm very impressed by Porto, and I think they're going to cause damage to a lot of people.
I've watched some parts of the game, but it's always interesting to see Ronaldo go back home to Portugal, and then to see like he's at Juventus, and his old teammate from Real Madrid, Pepe, was the coach, was the captain of Porto. It's just funny to see like the history and travels of people, you know, and how they're still teammates because
Portugal.
the Portugal wise. So he'll still be on a team with Pepe like later on this year. So it's just you don't hear
Ronaldo
about.
was flopping a lot today. He was crying and flopping.
Do you think that was a penalty?
No. He was going down. He was sliding. He was sliding
Right.
down already, and he was waiting for the guy to come close to over. You know.
Right. I feel like if he had tried to stay up, it would have been a penalty.
Yeah.
And he played it wrong, and then he didn't get the penalty. So the call was ultimately right. What you got, Neil?
I missed that game. I was watching the part 2 of the new Messi versus Ronaldo series that's begun.
What's that on?
Mbappe versus Haaland is the new Messi v Ronaldo. So Mbappe getting the hat-trick yesterday, Haaland doing it today. It kind of feels like the passing of the torch moment. And he was amazing. Like not just the 2 goals he scored, but even the first goal, he made a brilliant quick pass. And no matter how much of a Bundesliga tax you put on this guy, I feel he's gonna, he has everything he'll do well.
He's gone.
Yeah. It's interesting. Dortmund hired a new coach this week who won't join until the summer.
The Gladbach coach,
Marco Rose from Gladbach, he's got quite an interesting story. He was the under-19s coach at Red Bull Salzburg, and they won the Youth Champions League. So they beat like all the big teams in that. And then he got the job as first team manager at Salzburg, and did really well there. And then Gladbach took him, and now he's off to Dortmund. So he's going through the levels. He'll be the next big Bundesliga coach after that, I think.
Was Haaland? Did he coach Haaland at Salzburg?
I think he coached him in the first team briefly.
Oh, okay.
Because he was the manager before Jesse Mash, the American, went in there.
Did he coach him in the B team too, in the youth?
No, he wasn't in the youth team. They signed him from Norway. He went straight from Norway to the first team. Okay. He didn't coach. He wasn't part of that Champions League, youth Champions League team.
That whole Red Bull ecosystem is really interesting. Like it's coming up with a lot of really good coaches. And
well, Ranić was a sporting director for the whole group.
Germany produced good players.
Why does it feel like the Red Bull system is borderline illegal? What they're doing? Am I the only one? But it's not. But it's like you have different teams in different leagues, and
City are doing it to a lesser extent.
Yeah, City are doing it. It's just but the Red Bulls like this is kind of. But the only thing they're not doing is selling players from one Red Bull to the next Red Bull. Maybe that they are.
Yeah, there's quite a few players who move from Salzburg to Leipzig, but a lot of the big Salzburg players end up getting bought by bigger clubs straight away.
Right.
Obviously Haaland went straight to Dortmund. Mane went from Salzburg to Southampton. Minamino to Liverpool as well. Yeah.
Right. And now at Southampton.
There's a really good. I can't remember if he's left them already. There was a Hungarian centre midfielder for Salzburg.
I know. I think I know who you speak of. It's not the easiest. Not the easiest name to pronounce.
Lots of S's and Z's, but he's got a wicked.
Where did Minamino go?
His set pieces are amazing.
Minamino's on loan at Southampton.
Yeah, he played good the game. I was watching that game. He scored a goal.
Yeah. I think nobody's thinking Red Bull's doing something illegal because nobody feels threatened by them. The best they're gonna do is do really well and sell their best player to Man Munich.
Right.
Oh, no, the Hungarian guys, Sobola, he's at Leipzig now. He went from Salzburg to Leipzig in the window.
Yeah. I mean, Messi is doing the same thing. Messi, they offered Messi to come play for City for a few years, go to the team in MLS, and then come back as a GM or something. They offered him crazy money, so I think he will go to City if he goes.
Right. I lost track of the last thing that I wanted to say. I had it in my mind, and I think Lee said something. What was your topic, Lee? Who did you talk about? Oh, so maybe this is not a big overall thing, but today when I was kind of watching yesterday the PSG game, and they talk about the passing of the torch. Even the commentators were saying that. I said, did the commentators not see the World Cup game, France versus Argentina, and the torch was literally passed then? When so it's like they acting as if like Mbappe has never faced Messi before, and the result didn't turn out this way. Right. But good for Mbappe, good for Haaland, good for football. That we can at least see where the torch is going. There's been times when you couldn't tell, or there's some times when it didn't get passed. Like that torch got passed over Lewandowski's head. Or they held on to it.
They held on to it.
And then Lewandowski never will get that torch. You know what I mean? You'll get it for a week, maybe one day next year or the next year. And then
the guy who was supposed to get it, because Lewandowski still is at an age where there's not much of an age gap to those guys. But Neymar was perfectly poised to,
never got it.
But I never saw Neymar as a forward, like as a scoring forward. He's
a winger.
Yeah. He's like an attacking midfielder who scores. It's weird when you're in that position, because then people look at your goals, and then if you don't give as much goals, then they're like, you underachieve. But
that's what Ronaldo did, right? Like he started off as a winger, and
same as Messi.
Messi too, yeah.
But those are two different. They're
on different planets.
I would never see Neymar as one of those guys.
No.
I see him as like a scoring Ronaldinho.
What about Salah? Is Salah not getting there? He's top scorer in the league again.
Salah?
Yeah.
Salah's like, he's a goal scorer.
Like this, to add to what you were saying, they were talking about Mbappe like this is his first time he's stepping up in a big game. I'm like, Mbappe's been shining for 2 years.
He won the World Cup.
He was 17 in Santa what's that? With the small team he was on before
Monaco.
PSG. Yeah, he was shining when he was 17. He scored.
They won the league. They're the actual team to break PSG.
But at that time, Messi and Ronaldo were also shining.
Yeah.
So the whole point of passing the torch is like these guys are done. So
no, I don't say Messi's done, bro. Come on.
But you better hope he's done, because otherwise he's going to be playing for Man City and then maybe knocking Barcelona out next season.
I love football. I love watching Mbappe. I'm gonna love watching Messi playing a different team because he's the GOAT.
Hilarious. Well,
Haaland actually is milking it up. Like he referred to it in his post-match comments, saying that Haaland said in the post-match that he saw Mbappe scoring a hat-trick, and that gave him extra motivation. He's like, "Oh, thank you for that."
That's dope. Why does Haaland look like Norwegian joker.
Do you remember his father?
He's so white, he doesn't even need the white clown makeup.
Do you guys remember his father who used to play for
Alfie.
Leeds?
No, I don't.
Alfie Haaland.
Was he good?
Roy Keane ended his career pretty much.
Yeah. Which is why he'll never come to United, I guess.
Yeah, he will never go there.
Yeah, well,
His dad has said that he's happy for him to go there.
Oh, okay.
yeah, I read that article, but
He's a Leeds fan, Haaland,
He is.
he ain't gonna go.
because he grew up in Leeds when his dad was a Leeds
He
player.
won't go there either.
Yeah.
He's not going to a mid-team.
Yeah,
They need to get a bit more money.
yeah. Well, guys, it's been a good one. There's the Europa League, then there's more Premier League, and we'll see what's up with everybody.
Oh, we forgot about Europa League. I wonder which teams are playing there. Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I'll peep a game, but I ain't gonna. It'll only matter if we lose.
But is it important though, like to get, because if it's another route to get into the Champions League. If top four ever gets
We're in.
dicey.
I think we're good enough to be in Champions League. That's a route for Spurs.
Yeah, that's Arsenal's Spurs.
Arsenal,
and
Yeah, that's their route to get in the Champions League.
Yeah.
But and it was good to see Sevilla lose today. For some reason, I hate them. I can't put my
Did you
finger
guys see
on
what
it.
Sevilla did yesterday on their Twitter? They posted a picture of PK holding Mbappe's jersey, and they were like, "Ha ha," something like that. And then they got torched today.
Oh.
Well, they came back. They made it.
Yeah,
3-2.
they did.
But they were getting at their home. They gave up 3 goals. So good luck.
I was saying they spoke too soon yesterday.
Yeah. But all right, guys. Thanks. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. Tell your other friends and stuff about it. Leave comments. And if you have any questions that you want us to ask next week, just leave them in the comments, and we'll get to them. And thank you, Aaron Brungard, producer, All Things Comedy. We got Lee, 3 a.m. from England. Mowhaa, gonna hit like 5 mics after this. Neil, I don't know what you're gonna do in San Diego. Walk to the beach.
Yeah, walk to it.
Me, I'm out. 1.